Let's think about complementary and supplementary angles. Just consider that a complementary angle needs to reach, or when you talk about complementary angles, you need to reach 90 degrees or pi over 2 while working in radians. Supplementary angles are two angles that together will get you 180 or pi. So on this first example, we're talking about complementary angles. So that means that from 90, we're going to subtract 12 degrees, 15 minutes, and 35 seconds. But that's going to be challenging because from 0, trying to subtract 35 is going to be hard. But what about taking 1 degree from 90? So to make up for that lost degree, we can make it up by writing 60 minutes. 60 minutes would make the degree that we are missing. Now, that is not going to be enough, so we're going to take 1 minute from it. So we're going to start with 89 degrees, 59 minutes, and 60 seconds. Those 60 seconds are the minute that we're missing here. And if we add that missing minute, we're going to have 60 minutes, and those 60 minutes is the degree that we are missing to reach 90. So at that point, you'll be able to subtract 12, 15, and 35. And you're going to get 77 degrees. Now you're going to get 44 minutes, and you're going to end up with 25 seconds. So that is the complementary angle. Degrees, 44 minutes, and 25 seconds. Now, if you want to turn that angle into decimal form, you would need to write down 77 plus 44 divided by 60. Let me fix that. 44 divided by 60 plus 25 divided by 3600. So let's find the value. I'm going to write 77 degrees on my calculator. Then I'm going to add everything at once. 44 divided by 60 plus 25 divided by 3600. And that is going to be close to 77.7403. So now that I have that angle in decimal form, I want to see what would that angle be in radians. So basically, you just have to go for 77.7403 times pi divided by 180. Let's try to do that. Let's multiply our answer by pi, and let's divide by 180. And I got around 1.3568 radians. Now, in the case of the next example, we have 13 pi over 18. If you think about it, we want to reach pi, but pi can be written in many forms. You can have 2 pi over 2. You can even think of this in terms of 3 pi over 3 or 10 pi over 10. As long as this reduces to pi, you're good to go. So let's think of 18 pi over 18. That will reduce into pi. So if you want to reach pi, that means that in reality, what you want to reach is 18 pi over 18. And how far are we from 18 pi over 18? So we're going to write 18 pi over 18 minus 13 pi over 18 gets you 5 pi over 18. So our supplementary angle would be 5 pi over 18. That means that if you sketch both angles, one would cover 13 pi over 18, and the other angle would simply make up for those 5 pi that we are missing in order to reach 18 pi over 18. That needs to reduce every time to pi. And if you want to turn this into degrees, you would have to write the angle in radians, 5 pi over 18 times 180 degrees divided by pi. We're going to be able to cancel out the 2 pi's. 180 divided by 18 is 10 times 5 gets you 50 degrees. Now, this next problem is about supplementary angles, but instead of reaching 180, because the angle is in radians, we're going to keep thinking in terms of pi. But because this is in decimal form, it might be of benefit thinking in pi as pi in terms of its decimal approximation for 3.1416 radians. So how far are we from that? We're going to go pi minus 3.1, or instead of pi, we want to know 3.1416 minus 3.1. That is approximately 0.0416 radians. So if we sketch that angle, half a circumference we know is pi radians, or 3.1416. And if we already have 3.1, that means that this tiny segment right here is 0.0416. Now, if we want to know how much this is in degrees, what we have to do is write the angle in radians, 0.0416 times 180 degrees divided by pi. Let's find out the value that we get. 0.0416 times 180 divided by pi. And that's about 2.3835 degrees. And how do we go from this into degrees, minutes, and seconds? So we already know that we have 2 degrees. Out of 60 minutes, we were able to complete around 38%. So 0.3835. So let's 0.3835 times 60. That is 23.01. So we have 2 degrees, 23.01 minutes. And we're going to go from this into writing 2 degrees, 23 minutes, and out of 60 seconds, we're only going to take 0.01. So if we go ahead and do it, 60 times 0.01 is going to be about a second. So in reality, we're going to end up with 2 degrees, 23 minutes, and looks like 1 second.